Oh, greetings, friends. This video is going to be about chronic pain, and I've got some really good news if you suffer from it. And I assume that if you're watching this video, either you have chronic pain or somebody in your family does. You know somebody that does. The reason I'm making this video is because I don't want to bore you with hours of long war stories, but I am going to give you a little bit of a background so that it puts everything into context. And I want you to really listen to what I'm saying, because the advice I'm going to give you, I believe, will change probably 90% of your lives if you follow this advice. And no matter what your thoughts are on it, I strongly encourage that you look into this. Now, the background regarding my own situation is, I've had multiple injuries. I just had my 26th surgery, and some of us that have this situation, it can be problematic, because if you were to look at me walking down the street, you would think, hey, this guy is just a fat, ugly old guy, but you would have no idea that 99% of the day I'm in more pain than most people, I think, could handle. I often say that if people had half of my pain, they'd be injecting heroin to deal with it. So how did that all start? I mean, most of you that watch my channel know that I'm a retired Los Angeles police officer. And when I say retired, I'm medically retired. I suffered a lot of injuries like most big city cops. You end up getting hurt. It can be rough on you. And I was an officer back in the 80s, and I was a good one, which means that I worked hard, and I've suffered the consequences in many cases. Tore the meniscus in my left knee. I probably had 6 different surgeries on my left knee just related to that, and that's not counting the endless cortisone shots and all the other crap. In 1995, I was in a on-duty car accident, responding to a call, and another guy ran a light, and I ended up having disc removed from my neck. I've got 6 screws and a titanium plate and cadaver bone in my neck. Blown out disc in my lower back, and the low back is probably the most debilitating of all the injuries I have. I've had a major left inguinal hernia where I ended up with, like they had to put a wire mesh in there to give the muscle something to adhere to. That causes me problems. In 2003, I had a motorcycle accident where I ended up with a spiral fracture on the tibia with 24 separations. And I broke the knee as well. And that was already the knee that I had hurt as a cop. So that left me with a stainless steel rod from the left knee down to the ankle, 10 screws in the tibia, and 4 screws in the knee. I just had my right shoulder, I had rotator cuffs torn on both. So I had the left one done, the right one was just done. And I had one on the left elbow too. I tore a ligament in the elbow. So and on and so forth. And all of and this will mean something to you, to those of you with back problems. I mean, I can't count the number of epidural injections. I mean, for years I've been going through everything from acupuncture to I get more cortisone shots probably than anybody on the face of the earth. Anytime you have hardware in your body, of course, ultimately you end up with arthritis at those sites. So the bad news is that you end up taking opioids, narcotics, opioids, to deal with the pain. And I can't tell you how many battles I've had with the addiction to these opioids that you go through. You go through these periods of time where if it's not Vicodin, it ends up being Ultram or whatever it is. But you build up a tolerance, and you may start off taking 2 or 3 of those a day, and you may end up taking 10 a day. I know people that take a lot, take double that. And does that stop the pain? Absolutely. Does it get you addicted? Absolutely. And it's just a nasty, nasty, nasty thing to have to go through that. And then when you're coming off of it, you feel like a freaking junkie. You know, you get the shits, you get sick, and then you're back to square one because you have this vicious circle that you got to live in to survive. Do I take these pain meds and be able to live a semi-normal life? Always wondering, you know, counting how many pills you have left in the bottle and getting that terrible feeling as you're getting toward the bottom, and you know you got to go to the doctor. And every time some celebrity overdoses on this stuff, you know, they tighten the rules, and you know, now they get to the point where they give you this medicine, you become addicted to it, and then they say, hey, we're not going to give you this anymore because you're addicted. And, you know, you just want to. Yeah, terrible, terrible thing. You stress out all the time. How many pills do I have left? What's it doing to my liver? You know, I mean, this is a life that if you're watching this far, you probably can relate to. You know, just the thought of being without pain medicine is enough to make you break out into sweats, because you and I know that if you don't have it, you're bedridden. I mean, you just can't get up. I mean, I get up in the morning, I can't, you know, I had to take 1.5 Norco just to be able to stand up. You know, I'm 6'4". My feet are a long way away, and putting my shoes on, you know, that used to take a lot of planning to figure out how to do it with the least amount of pain. So where I'm going with this is, having been to every pain doctor and back doctor, and you know, I haven't opted for the back surgery yet, because I'm a big guy. I mean, I don't know if some of you may have seen my weight loss video that I'm in the process of losing quite a bit of weight. And, you know, I'm doing everything I can to avoid it because I'm really surgeried out, quite frankly. And I know that if my back gets 1 degree worse than it is right now, I'm just going to end up in a wheelchair. So it's that bad. I've got leg pain that would make the Mother Teresa, you know, cuss. If I sleep 4 hours a day, it's a miracle. So there's my sad story. So what's the good news? Well, here it comes. So pay attention and get a pen. You're going to want to write this down. But before I give you the punchline, I'm going to tell you one other thing. Right when, at the moment I was told by the doctor that I was so fat that I was on the verge of getting diabetes. This is like 6 weeks ago. They also prescribed for this chronic pain that I have as a result of all this stuff I just went over and more that I left out. The doctor prescribed Lyrica. You know, I thought, well, I was afraid to mess around with what I had going because I had the opioids that I was taking that I knew worked, but I didn't want to take anymore. So right when I got home, of course, I always Google any medication before I take it. And of course, what is the great side effect? The number one side effect of Lyrica is weight gain. I mean, it's almost a confirmed fact that you're going to gain a lot of weight. That was the day that I was starting my diet, you know. And I think I'm down to 26 pounds now in 6 weeks. Yay me. So if you're fat, go watch my other video, because that is seriously, you got to watch that video. I lay it out for you. It's a no bullshit video, man. You follow my plan. I'm losing a pound a day, and I'm eating like a horse. So check that out. If you haven't seen your feet or your penis in a while, go check that video out. So I didn't take the Lyrica. I was at my pain doctor the next day, and my back I say pain doctor, is my back doctor, and we talked about it, and she suggested Cymbalta. Now, I had seen commercials for Cymbalta being marketed as an antidepressant, and I used to make jokes about it because I used to think, who the hell would ever take such a thing? I mean, I can still, you know, the side effects may include explosive diarrhea, detached retinas, homicidal tendencies, suicidal thought, you know, and I used to think, who the hell would take that shit? And now I had this doctor standing here telling me, hey, you know, Cymbalta, she's had great success with people that were, you know, in similar situations as I am. So of course I went through the dialogue. Well, isn't that an antidepressant? And she says, well, you know, a lot of medications were developed for one thing, And then they realized there was another. That's how Viagra was developed, if you didn't know. I mean, I think it was something else, some other medication, and they realized that it had this other effect. So, lo and behold, I'll skip ahead and tell you that now I see commercials almost every day for Cymbalta, and they're marketing it as a chronic pain medication. Sure enough, so the timing, anyway, it's just newly been marketed as a chronic pain medicine, and it's not an opioid. It works on the brain, on the pain receptors in the brain, and that's about as technical as I'm capable of getting, or my nose will start bleeding if I try to go too far into it. So I reluctantly, took this sample she gave me of Cymbalta. Let me just say this to you. It's changed my whole life, and I cannot stress that enough. I can show it to you right now. I take 1 capsule by mouth 1 time a day in the PM with food. And I take 60 milligrams, and that's Cymbalta, Cymbalta. You have got, if you're on I have a hard time saying it apparently, opioids, if you're taking prescription, addictive pain meds, if you're in a lot of pain, you have got to get to the doctor as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Just say, hey, some dude on YouTube said that this stuff's like the miracle drug. Whatever you say, I don't care what you say. You have to have them give you a sample of this stuff. And I promise you it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life. The leg pain that I have, which prevents me from sleeping, it's cut all of my pain down, like, no exaggeration, I gotta say it's probably about 85 to 90%, which is pretty damn, I can't stand that pain scale that they all use, between 1 and 10. 10 being you can't walk, and 1 is you feel great. Look, man, my best days in life are a 6, maybe. And that's before this. Well, the Cymbalta knocks that down to like a 3 or a 2, in some cases a 1. The first week I was taking Cymbalta, I didn't take 1 Norco pain pill. Now you're talking to a guy, you're not talking to me, you're listening to a guy who get out of bed and the first thing I do, like a little robot, go over to my pain medicine, because again, it's not just the back, it's my shoulders, and it's everything combined. I mean, I feel like I've been, abused by a gorilla on PCP. I mean, that's pretty much how I feel most of the time. Until I started taking the Cymbalta. So, do I still take pain meds? Today, right now it is 9:30 p.m. and I've taken 1 pain pill, and that's because we're having a weather system here. There is truth to that, as you know, if you're in my situation. When it gets rainy and the pressure changes, it affects your back very, very much so if you've got herniated disc like I do. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I could go on and on and on, and I could pop streamers and all kinds of stuff, but trust me, I just got a weird error message on this thing. Don't tell me it's not recording. Yeah, it's still recording. But yeah, do yourself a favor and really promise me right now, put your hand on the computer, and promise me that you're going to ask your doctor to give you a sample of Cymbalta. And then leave comments here and let us know how that worked out, so that you can motivate those who don't want to let go of their narcotics. Or they don't, if you're afraid they're going to stop your narcotics, go to another doctor and say, hey, I want to try Cymbalta because I'm in chronic pain. Whatever you got to do to survive, so you can keep storing that up for the end of the world or whatever. But try this stuff. And then, I hope and pray that if you have half of the success that I've had, your life is going to change dramatically, because you can't keep taking that other shit. It's going to kill you. It's your liver, all this. It's going to shorten your life. And who wants to be, going to the pharmacy every month, like a little dog going, to the treat box. This is going to liberate you, my friends. So give it a shot and let me know what you think. Good luck to you.
There's gonna be a beat down and a shakedown. Oh, take it how you want it, cause it's all going down. We got the ego and you've got the time to wait.